Hey, it's Heather with From the Heart with Heather, and welcome back to my channel. It is Nutrition Tuesday today, and we are going to talk about Costco tips and tricks, what to do and what not to do, my experience, and a little bit of my research. Okay, so a lot of this stuff I've learned kind of on my own, and then there's a few things that I've looked up and kind of researched online and agree with. So number one, savings. Check your savings. Not everything at Costco is huge deal, huge savings, but there is usually some savings in everything in my experience. But let me give you an example. So for instance, like a Cascade, I've done some research on these and I can tell you that this is definitely a good deal at Costco. Paper towels on the other hand, it's usually a break even or maybe $1 or $2 savings. But here we're looking at, I can't remember what my savings was. I think this is on chicken. No, here it is. So my savings, my average on here was $13. $13 on 90 count versus your typical 27 or 43 pod count. So that's a good amount of savings right there, guys. Huge. Whereas, paper towels might be $1 or $2. So I still buy them, but it's whether or not you have the room to store it and, things like that. So just keep in mind to check your savings, make sure it's worth it from time to time. And it's really easy to do that. You can just keep your receipts. I kind of stash all my Costco receipts. You can keep your other grocery store receipts. Just look at it. Or you can actually do the math. This is what, do unit cost over here. Real simple. And a lot of times, Costco and your grocery stores will have the unit cost breakdown right there. All right, so just because it's a good deal, how much of a good deal is it? And do you have room for it? Next, when it comes to the whys of buying. So I can get in there and there's so many good things, so many things. So number one, always bring a shopping list. Know what you're looking for. Know what you're looking for. We'll talk about sometimes browsing the store and why that's good too, but it's always good to come with a list. And, how many, just because it's a good deal, how many snack items do you want to buy? In our house, it's very important to eat healthy. So, it's a great deal, but I don't want to come home with chocolate coconut clusters because that's normally not what we eat at the house. And yes, it's a great deal and oh, it looks good. And Tate's cookies, oh, they're wonderful. But at the same time, I have to make sure that I'm buying what I need and what's good for my family and on my list. So staying in the lines there. Next, planning and scanning. So like I said, you always want to have a list and you want to have a plan, but because I shop there almost once a week, I do like to take time out at least once a month where I go and kind of have time in the store to scan and look around at aisles that I normally don't go to. I pretty much know where things are, but I will tell you, they do move things, especially like chips. I've noticed that they'll take the chips out of the chip area and put them over there kind of close to the cold produce, not the produce, but near the meat and the cheeses. And so they want you to, of course, walk the store. So you got to keep your eyes open when you're walking by and have your plans and kind of know where things are or where they substitute and move things. So you can get in and out and not spend, stay on track, in other words. All right, when to shop. I've definitely learned this because I am a woman on a mission and I don't always have a lot of time and I don't want to spend it there anyway. So I have found in my store, I like going on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and I like doing the mornings. So not when they first open up, but mid-morning, maybe like an 11 o'clock is a really good time or after 1. I also find that Tuesdays and Wednesdays seem to be days that stocking is going on, and you can always check with your Costco and find out when they get stocked because those are the days you want to go. I avoid the weekend with, as I just don't go. I really don't go on the weekends just because sometimes, especially right now with meat and how there's been shortages with meat, I might not get what I need and I don't want to come back later when to buy. Markdowns. So this one I didn't necessarily catch myself. I found this on the internet. So if it has a 97, if it ends with a 97, so $50.97, that usually means that it is on sale. If it ends with a 49 or 74, it is on clearance. If it has an asterisk after any of these, it means it's going to be discontinued and you'll want to grab it. So don't put it off. If you see the asterisk, and even if you're not planning on spending that a whole lot, and you want that item, you better grab it that day. So that's kind of what happened with this. I got this at a really, really good deal. Didn't even notice. I think it had the 97-cent Indeed on it. And basically they have I guess a newer version, same brand, but it's white, looks a little bit different, and it's like $15 or $20 more. So hey, I didn't even know that I was getting the good deal, but I noticed that the good deal is no longer there. I mean, I'm sure it's still a good deal because they retail for like 50. I think now they're like 35, or yeah, like 35, something like that. I got this for 25 or 29. Anyway, it was a good deal. All right. And one thing to know about executive membership. So they will, if you are in there and you spend a lot, they may flag you down at the register and ask if you want to upgrade to an executive membership. It'll be at a reduced rate because you're in the middle of the year, and they'll pay you back. I did that last year, and I spent a fairly good amount of money there, and it did break even, but I didn't see the immediate rewards for bumping up. I didn't have to pay for it, but I didn't get anything more. So really what I'm reading is you have to spend $3,000 or more a year to actually get your 2% back. And I think I was right under the 3,000 mark. So if you're not spending $3,000 a year, executive membership may not be for you. So all in all, another thing is really good to do is to buy Kirkland, which is their brand. For instance, Kirkland Organic. I even read that this particular olive oil gets higher rankings, taste markings, than some of your Bertinelli, or I'm probably butchering that, but other brands. I like Kirkland brand. It's up to you, but try the Kirkland brands because you're definitely usually getting a very good deal when you're buying the Costco. And even on the liquor. So back to liquor, I will say Costco did at one time just go in there and check. I don't typically go in there because I'm not usually buying liquor from Costco, but I do have friends that do. And the Pappy Van Winkle, which is a bourbon, is not easy to get. It's really not. There's often times that you have to be in a raffle, and occasionally Costco just has a bottle or two. They also have some really educated wine buyers, so the wine is known to be good. And I have heard, I have not tried, but I have heard that the Kirkland brand bourbon is pretty good. Okay. Another area is gas. Gas is a good savings at Costco. Just know that you're going to have a card. There's no place to pay with cash, so make sure you have a card to pay and follow the directions, and make sure you go in the right line, and it's one way in, and follow all the rules. Other than that, it's pretty easy. What else did I have on here? Another thing I did see there that's was very competitively priced is their flooring. So if there's home improvements, don't think about passing them up. I also did price washer and dryers. That there was almost a break even, because sometimes your home improvement stores will have sales that are just as good. So you have to really do a good comparison on those items, but it is always worth checking out. And finally, before we wrap up, another little tip that I really have that's helped me out a lot is bagging my own stuff. Now, so they'll always ask you if you want to bring a box, if you want boxes. And I was coming home with all those boxes, and a couple of problems with that. Well, one, they would overload the box and I couldn't get it out of the cart into my car, and I'm pretty strong. I couldn't get it out of the cart, or then I started saying I want small boxes, but then I would get home and I have all these boxes and I couldn't break them down because they're really sturdy. They're made for heavy stuff, and they took up way too much room in our garbage can. So what I started doing is saying I don't want boxes. I have a couple sturdy bags. This one, Disney store bag, is awesome. Another bag that you could also use would be your IKEA bags. But what I do is I keep these in the car. So I take it out in the car, and then I put all my refrigerated items like in something like this. And then if I have one more places to go, you know, another place to go, then I put it all in this bag, and I know that it's going to stay cold while I'm there. So definitely bagging it yourself is good. I'm trying to think of anything else that I have. Costco.com is definitely something to look at because you're going to be able to see what is on sale before it goes on sale, so you can kind of plan. And they do have really good sales. So for instance, like I think coming up, these are going to be $3 off. They're already low price, which is, you can't beat it. I stocked up on some detergent that normally was running $14.99. I believe is in the $13.99, somewhere around there, and it ended up being like $3 off. I bought a couple, so you know when you can shop and what items to really look for. You're always going to save, but really when they're on sale, and you can find these either through the mailer or at Costco.com. And like I said, I do get the mailers, but I browse Costco.com because sometimes you never know if you're going to get it in the mail or not. But that's pretty much as far as it goes with Costco.com. I don't really see anything else on there that's really stands out except their circulars. Or if you're pricing flooring, you can see other options that you can buy online that they might not have in the store, and also deliveries. But of course, if you're going to pay for a delivery or Instacart, you're going to eat into your savings. So just something to think about. So I hope these were helpful, and if you have other tips on Costco and how you're saving money there, I gotta know. You gotta share. Until next week, you guys have a great day.